Hey everyone, welcome to this neuroscience-backed splits flow, which is going to be an opportunity for you to just practice along. You don't have to think. There's very little brain engagement that's going to go on your part because I'm going to do it all for you. I am going to give you some tips and tricks as we go through this flow. And also just remember that this is an opportunity for you to just have a little recap of all the different neuro drills that we've been teaching you on this channel because they do work really well. Not everyone for every person, but there are some high payoff ones that can be really useful. Before we get started, make sure you grab a pen or some kind of target. Don't worry if you don't have one fancy one like I do. You can always use your thumb, but it's always nice to have something that you can kind of focus on, and then we can move the eyes around with it. And also, because your brain requires safety as its primary foundation before it can start building on a new skill, I've got 2 blocks. Maybe you need something a little higher, like even 2 little chairs or near a wall, but really give yourself whatever support you need to feel safe. Head over to your mat. And what we're going to do is begin with some sensory stimulation on the legs and the arms. So your hands are going to basically rush down the front of your legs past your toes and then up the back of the legs past the glutes. And I just want to emphasize, I am so stiff because I've been sat a lot for the last 24 hours. And then I just went to the gym and I was nailed there. So I'm on my stiffest of the stiff right now. So this is going to be a real test to see if these drills actually work. And so if you are someone who struggles with these kind of movements, this is the place to be. Okay, after we've done the last down the front, up the back, we're going to take one hand onto the shoulder and rush it down towards your fingertips. And then we're going to flip the palm and go from the fingertips under the arm to the armpit. Now, why am I doing arms? Well, we're going to actually get into the science behind that in a moment. There's something called the opposing joint theory in your body. Let's go the underside. And basically, opposite limbs have a neurological connection. So we're going to be addressing that later. For now, we're looking at the sensory component of it. And already, as I'm going into my forward fold, I'm feeling way better. So come into a forward fold along with me. And when you get down there, I'd like you to do your best to relax your neck and then bend and stretch opposite knees as if you're sort of doing a walk on the spot. No need to hold your fingers down on the ground. Maybe your hands are a little higher on your legs. That's perfect. Just slow down your breathing. Allow yourself to really settle into your body. Great stuff. Now, here your blocks are going to get handy. So I want you to grab each of your blocks and pop them down. Then step your left leg back. And what we're going to do are what I call shifts. So you're going to shift forward into a nice little lungy position where you can feel the back hip. And then you're going to shift backwards where you're feeling the front leg. You're just going to do this really gently without trying to force the body, sort of respecting wherever it wants to be. And then after a few rounds of that, you might be like, oh, okay, hello, a little bit of extra space, and you're welcome to edge into it. Or if you're not ready to, just stay exactly where you are, being as high up on these blocks as you need to be to feel really supported. Okay, now we have done a lot of neural flossing over the last few weeks, but we're going to do a few more. You're going to come backwards into your half split, and you're going to point and flex the foot. And you should feel that that sensation on the back of the leg is turning on and off as you do this motion. Great stuff. Now keep the toes up to the nose and then bend and stretch the knee. You might feel that a little more in the calf muscle. Great stuff. And then we're going to keep the knee long, the toes to your nose, and you're actually going to curve your chin down and up. Last one. Brilliant. Now we're going to come forwards, and here everybody finds that the back knee needs a little bit of cushioning. So you can either grab a cushion or you can fold your mat just so that it's a little bit of extra padding. Balance is also a big one for this next drill. So if you find that yours goes a bit wonky, don't struggle. Get a wall or a chair and really give yourself some support. essentially what it is we're going to lift the back leg up and we're going to hold onto the ankle. But that's quite a big move for some people's legs. So if you need to hold onto your trousers or a strap, 1,000,000% do that. You can also use your opposite hand on a nice tall positioned block or in a chair. And then what you're going to do is think of a ball being right underneath your sternum. You want to round your sternum over that ball, bring your chin to your chest, and then push this left hip forward slightly. So you're starting to feel that the front of the thigh is taking, yes, a muscular stretch. I realize that, but there's also a nerve component to it. And the front nerve that we're flossing is called your femoral nerve. Now, to floss a nerve, we need to create some motion. So this front right knee is going to go over the toes and back. And what will be really tempting is to arch your back, but you're actually going to keep a hollow body at the front, a squeezy left butt cheek as you push this right knee forward and back. Okay, 5 more. Oh, that's tight today. Ooh. Hello. Okay, last one. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring that down. And by now you should have started feeling actually a little bit more loosey-goosey, which is quite cool. So what I'm going to get you to do is actually create a splits, but a very generous splits. AKA, look at how high my blocks are positioned. Like, I mean, I'm not really feeling much of a stretch here. So for those of you who are high up here, you are feeling the stretch, you chill. If you're thinking, do you know what? Maybe I can go a little bit further. You're going to bring yourself into a position where you don't really feel a lot. It's just like really comfortable, but you're aware that that's roughly your edge. So like I said, I'm having a stiff day, so I'm way up here and I'm happy with that. I don't want to do more. I'm going to actually come towards you guys to show you what we're going to do. You're going to grab your target and we're going to do 5 repetitions of what we call a smooth pursuit. So you're in your splits, your arms extended, you're looking at your target and you're going to move it over to the left. Your left leg's behind, so your eyes are going to the left. Then you're going to close your eyes, bring the target back to the center and open the eyes. Slowly take them to the left, close, recenter, open. Take your target over to the left, close, open, recenter. You're just going to do this a couple more times. And then what we're going to do is you're going to have a little feel. How's your body there? A lot of times people are like, wow, I'm feeling really good. Let's see if we can take it a tiny bit further. Again, it should feel super duper comfortable. It shouldn't feel like you're having to force anything. Like, I know I'm a flexible human, so for me, this looks really dramatic for some people. But honestly, right now, I can just feel a little bit on my hip flexor, nothing on my hamstring, because that's just comfortable. So as long as you're wherever you're at, even if it's all the way up here, I'm happy, because we're going to add in one more vision drill. And what that's going to look like is your target is to the side, but your eyes are forwards. You're looking at a wall or whatever's in front of you. And then very fast, your eyes are going to snap to the target. Then you're going to close your eyes, reset, open your eyes, look forward again. We're looking at each other or we're looking at the wall. And then you're going to snap the eyes to the target. Hold it there as an isometric hold. Close the eyes, look forwards. You're going to do that 3 more times on your own in your splits position, whatever that looks like for you. No stress. And then last one. Good. Now that vision drill, let me tell you, works like a charm for so many people. And you might, at this moment, as cold as you are, because we haven't done a lot in terms of warm up, already start feeling like there's a little bit more space there. Now let's switch it over to the other side. But before we go into it, I'm going to get you to come back into your sensory sensation stimulation. So hands are going to go down the front of the legs and up the back. And for example, my left hamstring is a little bit more, it's like tweaking. It's not painful, but I'm aware of it. So I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time rubbing my hamstrings. Maybe you felt your calves, your hips, your inner thighs, wherever you felt it. Take your hands to that area and create an extra bit of sensory stimulation. Absolutely brilliant. And again, we're going to go to the arms, really rubbing the hands, the wrists, and then all the way along the forearms and upper arms. Brilliant. Now we're going to go into the other side. So I want you to step your right leg backwards. You've got your blocks. And we're going to just take a moment to go forward and back. Really, really chilled. P.S. This might be where you stay when we're doing all the other vision drills and stuff, because we haven't done a crazy amount of warm-up. So you want to be really, really peaceful about your progress with your splits. And with that comes a nice steady breath. Again, just kind of sensing, ooh, just there, yeah, that's the one. And then, yeah, just there. So really not too bothered, but maybe after a few breaths, you can take things a little bit deeper. Easy breezy, nice and comfortable. And the last one, you're going to keep your front leg long, because here we're going to go back into that sciatic nerve floss where the ankle points and flexes. And again, you'll sort of feel this on-off switch. The toe points, it's a little bit off, and as the toes come up, it's more of an on feeling. Good. Now you're going to keep your toes to your nose, and it's not a big bend and stretch, but the knee starts to create a little bit of slack as it bends, and then a little bit more tension as it straightens. Fantastic. And then you're going to keep the toes up, the knees straight, and the head is now going to floss. Because remember, the nerves, yes, they come from the spinal cord, but ultimately they're coming from the brain. So we can actually pull on those nerves as we bring the head up and down. This is such a beautiful time to really tune into a slower breath. Okay, so by now, a little bit more of a loosey-goosey vibe. Let's take our mat on the opposite side into a fold if you need to. You can grab your cushion, slide it under your knee. And then what we're going to do is get something looped around the foot. Maybe you grab your yoga leggings, or you go for gold and you just grab that foot straight up. Okay, feeling good? Now notice I haven't shown you a back bend. This is staying quite far back. It's keeping a hollow body at the front. So there's a ball right here underneath your sternum, and it's almost rounding your back. And then your chin comes to your chest. This is not a back bend chin to chest situation, because that's going to slack the nerve. We want to tension the nerve. Now, in this position, you'll feel the front of the thigh, gold star, that's what we want. And then what I want you to do is just feel like you're going a little bit into it by pressing that left knee over the toes and a little bit out of it. Now, it helps a lot if you squeeze your right butt cheek. You might feel like it switches it on a little bit, yeah? So now we're flossing the femoral nerve. Going back to our smooth breaths. And maybe noticing that after the first few reps, we've got a little bit more space, which we maybe explore. Fantastic. Okay, then we're going to create our little tower underneath our left hamstring, being super mindful and supportive of our body. And this might be a low lungy position for some of you. Maybe you've gotten a big old bolster with blocks on top of it, so you're quite high. But either way, you're grabbing your target, and now what we're going to do is experience the smooth pursuit. So you've got the target in front of you. You're going to drag the target over to the right, close the eyes, and then reset the target in the center. So you're watching the eyes go over to the right-hand side in a smooth tracking motion with the target. And what this is doing is it's actually targeting specific parts of your brain in the brainstem that help with flexion on the left and extension on the right. Now, after you've done your last smooth pursuit over to the right, I want you to keep your target there. Close your eyes, and then when you open them, just look at the wall in front of you, and then in a sharp motion, pow, snap your eyes to the target. Hold it there, close your eyes, and then again, have a little moment, open. Eyes are looking forwards. Now, snap the eyes over to the target and hold it there still for a few seconds. And then close the eyes, reset the eyes to look forwards. Now we're going to snap. We've got two more. Close, open, snap. Last one coming up. Close, open, and snap. Yes, well done. Okay, let's take our target to the ground and let's have an experience of this front leg. How is it doing? Yeah, that's about me for today. I definitely got a little bit extra. Did you? Let me know in the comments if this helped you. And then just have a little shimmy, a little shake. Now, we are going to do a couple more things. We've had this great experience of experiencing more of a passive flexibility, but let's now have a little go at working our active flexibility. So step your right foot forward, go back into your forward fold with your knees bending and stretching, and pay attention. Does this forward fold feel better than the first one? Now, in your forward fold, it might be useful to have your hands supported on something like blocks. We're going to take the left leg behind us into a standing split without judging how high it goes, just feeling the leg is up nice and high. It's a lot on your strength and a lot on your flexibility, but it feels good. Toes are going to lower to the ground, gently to kiss the mat, and then a big swing up into that standing split. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now we're going to switch over to the right leg. So toes go up as high as they can with a pointy foot. Whenever you get to your maximum, whatever that looks like, you then bring the toes down to kiss the mat, and then a big swing. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Now we're going to make it a little bit more juicy. You're going to bend your elbows if you can to go a tiny bit deeper. When that opposite leg, the left one, is in the air, I want you to pulse it. So now instead of going down and up in a big swing, there are little annoying pulses, and you can really feel your left butt cheek burning as you do this. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and whoo boy. Let's take the right leg to the sky. Same thing now. Here we go. Smooth, controlled breathing. That's it. Feel the booty. Whoa. Okay. How's that feeling? Okay, now we're going to take it down and we're going to be doing something called the opposing joint theory. I promised you that. Let's step the right foot forward and the left leg back. How this works is through a complex system in the brain called central pattern generators that helps you when you're walking produce opposing arm and leg movements. Essentially, what this means for you practically is, let's say I'm trying to get deeper with my left leg. That's the spot that's a bit sticky for me. If I go into extension with this leg, I should go into flexion with the opposite arm. Okay, so essentially this is going to give me a bit more space, and it's weird how it works. For some people better than others, but for me it's crazy. Like, I'm going into the lunge and I feel that there's a block, and as soon as I bring the arm up and I push it to its maximum, I can feel I gain more range. So hopefully that gave you a little something to think about. Let's change over to the other leg. Left foot forward, press your hips forward, lift up into your left arm. Push your hips so that you feel in your maximum, then push the arm into its maximum, and notice, does that give you a little bit more range on that back hip? Let's come out of it. Take a full breath in. And from the nose, slowly breathe out. Push into your hip into its maximum. Notice where the block is. Take the opposite arm up and push your arm into flexion. Yeah, how amazing is that? Now we're going to do the same thing with the front leg. So change over to the opposite side. We've now got the right foot in front. We're going to pull again into that half split position that we were practicing earlier. Because this leg is in flexion, our opposite arm is going to go into extension, which means the arm goes behind us instead of up to the head. So feel the stretch. Take the left arm back and see if you can use the arm to give your leg a little more range. Wow, it's like magic. Sciencey magic. Good. Now let's change it over to the other side. Have a little moment first. Like I said, my left leg is speaking to me today, so let's see if it gives me a little bit less awareness. Yep, like a charm. Geez, crazy, crazy. Alrighty, now we can actually utilize this exact same strategy when we're in our standing splits. It does make balance a little bit more tricky because obviously we use our arms to balance, but I'd like you to step up to the top of the mat and maybe make a really solid platform for the right hand because the right hand's going to stay in flexion. Make sure you've wiggled your feet a little over to the left. Left leg is going to go up in the air. And what I'd like you to do is I want you to bring your left arm towards the left leg. So it's in line with that left leg. And then I want you to keep going behind the head until that top arm is in extension. So we're focusing on the front leg now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Move the blocks over to the other side. Now the focus is going to be your back leg. We need to keep the right arm down to the ground, but we're going to be lifting it forward to the wall in front of us to move it into flexion. So a same leg, left leg goes into extension. Right arm goes towards the ear and start lifting the arm above your head and notice if that can give you a little more range on that back leg, a little more height. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. We're going to keep our blocks over to the left, feet shimmy to the right. Left hand is on the blocks for balance. Right leg goes behind you. The focus is the standing leg on the floor, so the right arm goes up in line with this back right leg. And as you fold into it, because you're trying to get that front leg to really, really go into flexion, your top arm is going to go behind your head as far as possible. And you're trying to see, does that give you a little bit of extra range, a little bit of extra forward fold? Nice. Great stuff. Recover back. Let's change blocks to the opposite side of the mat. Staying on the same leg, we're going to fold into it. You're taking your right leg up. Now, left arm goes down to the mat, to the front of the mat, to the front of the room. And as you start lifting that back leg up, you're really focused on that shoulder going up as high as you can for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, come down, have a little victory dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something that happens psychologically when we start working towards poses, if they don't instantly look perfect, we can give ourselves a really hard time about that. Let's drop all that negativity and be really proud for showing up today, for trying your best, for trying out new things, for testing out drills. Honestly, that is so valuable. Let's finish the session with going into a final splitsy splits, because ultimately we do want to get stronger in the position. And what we're going to throw in as a final little spicy, wicey, mojo, flojo is PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. And what this means is it's going to map splits in your brain better. So you're going into your maximum splits. It doesn't have to be flat. Mine certainly isn't right now, but I'm lower than when I started. The foot on the right pushes down. The foot on the left pushes down. Feel your muscles contracting. Hold it hard. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you should feel, woohoo, hello, that gives you a little bit of extra range. Let's do one more. Push down hard. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And take it all the way down and then all the way back. Okay, I'm thrilled with my progress on that. Left leg is the one that's a little bit meh, so let's see how it deals with PNF. I'm going to start nice and high. Are we ready to do this? You're in position? Good job. Let's go. Big breath in. As we breathe out, we start to contract. 10, 9, and then keep that smooth breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Have a little whoop, whoop. Okay, I'm not flat, but I've gone down a little bit more. We have got one more to go. Let's see if this does the secret sauce. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I am extraordinarily happy. For me, the brain drills always work so well, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm hoping that one or two of you guys out there are experiencing the same transformation. That, yeah, all movement comes from the brain. And so that old phrase, neurons that wire together, fire together, what that means is if we can light up more parts of the brain, that's going to make it much easier for your brain to produce certain movements. So hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to thank you so much for your sweet comment. If anyone else has any questions, you are so welcome to drop them into the comments box. I also monitor the questions that you guys send us on this channel every single day. So if you don't have one right now, but it comes to you at 2 in the morning, please write to me. Not at 2, but at 8 a.m. when you've woken up and you're back on your screens. Okay, guys, no questions for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your lovely messages coming into the chat box. Oh, bless you. It's so lovely to see you too. And I'll see you guys on the next session.